On a cool day in late November, I touched down in Tokyo, but as I landed, something didn't feel right. You know that feeling when something is about to go wrong? I had that, but I brushed it off as nervous excitement. Of course, I'd never been to Japan, I'd never even been to Asia. As I walked down the aisle, next thing I knew, I was put in handcuffs. I was thrown in an interrogation room and yelled at in Japanese for 12 hours. A little bit after that, I was thrown into a cell with nothing but a toilet, and it was in that cell where I would remain for the next month. Now, I had everything: clout, a nice car, a pretty girlfriend, and overall a dream life. But just like that, it was taken away from me. Like, really, everything. I was arrested in a foreign country, and to top it off, I barely wanted to be there. A trip gone wrong where I lost over $70,000 in brand deals, contact with my friends, my family. Man, I nearly lost my sanity. And of course, it goes without saying, the fact I'm even out right now means I'm incredibly lucky. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Connor, what the f happened? Well, the story I'm about to tell you came together through a mix of pro wrestling, cocaine, Jesus Christ, and a kid flying a little too close to the sun. If that makes 0 sense to you, well, it's about to. Hope you guys enjoy.
Well, yeah, when one man comes out with a weapon, and now the tug of war for the hockey stick. Turnbuckle.
Here we go. Away D-Man Parker's one-up match.
Now, would that get you this hockey?
These days.
Oh, bummer. And now Connor with the hockey stick.
Going quick to come out a little cocky. And oh, there we go. Now we got an equalizer. He's got a chair as a shield, if you will. Connor, to the midsection. Back old school with that chair shot. I wonder what other goodies are underneath this ring. Stick, and now a trash can with moments to recover. And look at that. Oh, here we go. He's about to, sorry. He's getting his bell rung.
Can't be doing good things to the D-Man.
You know that mustache took him 3.5 years to grow. In 2 seconds, it could be lost. Our version of Sheldon, that's an American to get this crowd hyped up. Dan Parker, spin, look at that slide underneath. He's saying, no. Whoa!
Face first into the trash can. But that's the only point.
Well, that's what makes him un-Canadian. Is he trying to go coast to coast?
It sure looks like it.
From BC to Newfoundland.
Took advantage.
Absolutely. Oh, here we go. Well, they wanted it. They got it.
Polite Canadian. I mean, the fans here.
You got to think, though, what is Connor thinking? Oh, D-Man again created separation. Wow. Dan Parker head full of steam. Kicks Connor out onto the table just a bit. Who's going to be going through it? Right now, Dan Parker. D-Man up to the second rope. Oh, got it.
Elbow drop through the table.
Looks like he'll be swinging for the fences.
He played himself.
Looked a little bit like Aaron Judge there. Couldn't hit anything. Put me through a table.
Right
hear
to the
impact
spine.
on that.
Echoing.
Absolutely not. He had the guy in the building.
Absolutely. Just. Did he pick him back up?
He did. He's saying, no, not yet. It's too easy.
He's like, okay, we're going to go DQ. Let's take this a little further. No DQ match.
Oh, here we go. What's on this side of the ring now? We got a chair and a table for meals. We got another table here.
But I think we can agree, Connor could have won this match. This could well be over. He just wants to punish D-Man.
Well, he wants to, put him through what he went through. So
sure.
You put me through a table, why don't I return the favor?
Tit for tat.
Yes, absolutely.
Isn't that a Canadian expression?
That is.
Take out D-Man for good.
He wants to take a look at his gorilla press.
The power of Connor.
Wow.
Amazing impact at ringside here. D-Man going right through that table. And Connor really moving at a slow, deliberate pace now, just stalking his prey, as it were.
Absolutely, and now he's got Parker back in for the 3-second tan. Wondering if he can lay him down for it. And I like it. Connor back on the shoulders now. Does D-Man Parker Oh, Parker, though, rake at the eyes. Again, all legal in this type of low blow. It's legal. I don't have to like it, but it's legal.
Got him right in the right device. Oh, face first into the chair.
Could this be it? Was Connor's undoing? 2. There it is. And Connor had the chance to win the match.
Holy shit.
Is it bad?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers. We're going to fucking Japan. I'm ready. I got invited by the fucking Japanese mafia, you know what I'm saying? I'm post-wrestling match right now, and my nose. Oh boy, I do not need to be any more ugly than I already am, but I have this nasty ass cut on my nose. It's all good though. We're at the fucking airport. Nice. Slow ass camera, bro. Can you turn around? Why is it locked? We're about to do some solo traveling. You're about to see me do a fucking solo fucking travel vlog, bro. That's crazy. I mean, the one benefit of being an influencer and working online is I can kind of travel wherever now. I just was in Abu Dhabi. That shit was fire. It was really different. I definitely would not want to live there. I'm excited about Japan, you know. I see all these influencers going to Japan, man. They're just glazing up Japan. I wanna see if Japan has got some fucking metal, you know what I'm saying? I'm not. Fuck, dude. I'm actually comfy though. Can't even lie. How comfy I am. You guys gotta start living like this, bro. Whatever you gotta do to do it, just fucking do it. Just do it, bro. Trust. But about to get some work done. Fuck. I have my laptop underneath. Probably gonna pull it up, do a bit of work. I have this really bad habit on planes. I don't get any work done. But today that's gonna change. I'm gonna put in a solid, I would say like, I wanna do like 8 hours of work, but I just know that's not gonna happen. But a solid like 3-4 hours of work will set me up nice. And then probably sleep, then wake up refreshed, and then on to exploring Japan. Alright, your boy has landed. I don't know why it's fucking pink out, but some crazy lighting in fucking Tokyo. But hold up. Can I like zoom in? Oh, I can't. Well, I tried to zoom in. Luki look kind of cute right now though. But yeah. Let's see how this fucking airport looks. So, I just spent the last month in Japanese prison and I lost everything, man. I lost my physique that I worked so hard for. I lost over $50,000 in brand deals. I lost communication to my friends and family. I was imposed with a communications ban and I was alone. Nobody spoke the language. It was incredibly difficult. You're not allowed to talk. You're not allowed to lie your head on a pillow. You sit there in an 11 by 7 foot room where all you're allowed to do is sit cross-legged or on your back. The doors to the washroom, it's not even a washroom, it's a toilet, which you wash your hands in, is slanted because it's so common to unalive yourself in these prisons. The Japanese prison system is rife with human rights violations, and like I said, it was hard, but I think it was one of the best things that ever happened to me, because one of the rights we were afforded was reading time. Now, they didn't have a great selection of books. Most of them were in Japanese, but one of the books they did have was the New Testament. And I've always believed in God, but I've never been super good about getting into faith. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a Christian pastor, priest, YouTuber now. That's not me. I'm probably going to keep my content pretty similar, but I learned a lot about energy and, you know, the karmic effect of things and faith and forgiveness and belief, which I really want to carry forward and bring that into my life and allow it to be more positive. Because when I think of how I got into this mess, man, I was living a fast life. I was living the life of an influencer, and I was living a life where I was doing, but there wasn't a lot of intent, not a lot of thought and connection with what I was doing. It was kind of like I was watching myself in a show do these things, but I wasn't really living and experiencing these things. And that's something that the Word of God allowed me to kind of just stay grounded and humble myself, right? And especially humbling because at the end of the day, I was looking at 1 to 3 years, guys, for what I was being charged with. And of course, the justice system in Japan did me right. I was not deserving of a harsh sentence. But of course, you know, things happen. People get sentenced to stuff, which might be unfair. For example, there was someone who was looking at 2 or 3 years for, I think, 4 grams of weed. Right? So in Canada, weed's legal. So this is just unthinkable. There was a 22-year-old in there that I talked to who was looking at 15 years. And what did he do? He brought a package into the country, but he didn't know the contents of the package. This kid is a really nice kid. He's a 6'8", like Latvian guy. I think his name was a Christian or something. It's one of the only people who spoke English, and you're not allowed to talk in prison, but I would kind of, you know, whisper to him when I would pass his cell for a second, when we would have our 3 minutes to brush our teeth and, you know, 2 minutes to make our bed. I'd walk by his cell. I kind of, you know, try and chat with him. This guy, over the first 20 days I was there, he was there as well. And it took that amount of time to piece together the story. Basically, he brought a package into Japan. He didn't know what it was. It turned out it was meth, right? Because one of his friends was in the drug trade and was using his ignorance, paying him money to, you know, ship a package, and he didn't know what was inside, and he was caught liable with it because he shipped the package, but of course he didn't know what was inside. So he's doing 15 years because he did a stupid thing, which was you know, shipping off a package that he didn't know the contents of what was in. But at the end of the day, that's not a bad kid. That's not a bad person. He didn't know. He's doing 15 years at 22 years old. Like, he's a bad person. And this is what I'm saying. It's just unfair. So I got very lucky. Now, what happened in my case? Well, I was basically charged with smuggling drugs into the country, right? So I had a very small amount, trace amount of, I think it was like ketamine or cocaine or something like that. I can't really remember because they said it tested positive for multiple substances. But basically, I had been sober for the last little bit. They drug tested me. I was negative. I didn't have any drugs in my system at any point when I was in Japan. I had gone sober because I wanted to, you know, elevate my professional wrestling career. As you guys know, I've been doing professional wrestling. So I was at a party and my friend was, you know, just balls deep in the bag. You know, he's fucked out of his mind. He's like, dude, I'm doing too much. Just hold this for me. I was like, yeah, sure, man. I put it in my pocket. I forgot about it, okay? I had a trip to Japan coming up. So keep that in mind. I put it in my pocket and I go home, and of course I forget that it's in there, right? So I go and I take the pants off and I just toss them in my laundry basket. So a couple weeks go by and I'm so bad with doing my laundry. I'm fucking lazy as shit. So I was thinking, okay, I'll just take a couple things out of the laundry basket and buy the rest of my clothes in Japan, because that was part of why I was going, was to shop. So whatever, I threw a few things in my bag. I went and customs went through and checked at the airport. They checked, and they pull out the bag, and I'm like, fuck. Because I knew, I was like, that was from that night. And immediately I got fucking scared. Okay, and I'm panicking, and I'm just, you know, beside myself. I'm keeping it inside. I'm not like screaming or anything, but from there, I don't think I spoke much after that point, because, you know, they threw me in jail, and at that point I was just at the whim of the prison system, and they, you know, interrogated me, and I told them what happened, and they didn't believe me. They thought, you know, I was a drug addict. This was my drugs, and I said, no, drug test me. They drug tested me. I was negative, so they're like, okay. So then they just start going through my phones, my laptops, everything. They don't find anything, so I'm released. But they were making it sound like I was going to jail for 1 to 3 years just for having the bag, which honestly could have been a possibility. People can get charged with possession, right? So I'm very, very lucky. Very, very lucky. Everyone thought I was dead. I stopped responding to everybody, and I fall off the face of the earth. Imagine your friend texts you, I'm going on a trip, and they just never text you again. But not only do they not text you, they don't text their mom. They don't text their dad. They don't text their sister. They don't text anyone. And then they stop posting on social media, and you start wondering, what the fuck is going on? Is this guy taking a break? What's happening? So that was what happened to me. But honestly, at this point, I feel fucking good. I feel blessed. I feel extremely fucking blessed. I'm happy that, you know, I made it out of that situation. And I gotta say, the dopamine detox is real. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking when I was in jail, I was like, fuck, how hard would a fucking Nintendo DS go? You know, I spend all day on my phone, TikTok, Instagram, dopamine, energy drink, music, headphones, so overstimulated, and I'm just in there, and I'm just sitting for hours and hours and hours. I'm just sitting, and you don't know when it's going to end, and that's the worst part. And that's why they have the slanted doors, because most people, if they have a very long sentence, they're going to want to try and unalive themselves. They're going to wrap their shirt around their neck and just try and hang from it. And the guards might bring them down. And the guards, what happens when you do that, when you try to hurt yourself, it's a rule in the prison. They send you to the punishment room. Now, what is the punishment room? It's a cold white room with 24-hour lights, no clocks, where you have to sit on your knees or cross-legged, and the only time you can move is if you want to go to the bathroom. How do you go to the bathroom? You don't go to the normal toilet, which you wash your clothes in, by the way. You go to the hole in the floor, which you poop in. Japan and jail. You're probably not going to get stabbed. You're probably not going to get fucking BBC'd by Tyrone, but it will just destroy your mental. It takes a special kind of just Zen mindset where you can just zero everything out to come out of that. Like, I thought I did well for a month, but looking back on it, like, when I say these things out loud, I just realized, like, how fucking, like, mental this is. You know what I mean? Like, you weren't even allowed to talk. You weren't allowed to talk. There was one point where I tried to use my shirt as a pillow because my neck was just absolutely killing me. And they pull me out and they show me the punishment room for the first time. And I'm just like, no. Not in there. Every day was waiting. And I remember in the morning I would make my bed. And you don't get a bed, actually. You get a blanket and you get a seat cushion pillow. That's only for when you're sleeping. There's no pillows in the cell. So you get your blanket, you get your seat cushion pillow, and you put it away. Fold it up, put it away. Then you go back, you sit in your cell for like half an hour. And then they serve you breakfast. Now, what's for breakfast? For breakfast, it's 2 slices of bread, eel, and like 3 slices of pickles. Oh, but you get soy sauce. So what did I do? I made a fucking soy sauce sandwich. I was dousing everything in fucking soy sauce. They called me the soy sauce fucking god. I was dousing everything in fucking soy sauce. I probably was peeing soy sauce by the end of it because that was the only thing that I could do to just add some more calories, because at the end of the day, I got in there, I was 230 pounds. I got out, I was like 202, 2, I want to say, something like that. I lost a lot of muscle. I lost a lot of size. I was starving. And I understand that maybe for some people 1,500 calories is enough. It's probably not enough for most people, but you know, maybe someone's like, you know, it's more than enough food. It's not 500 calories. Like, okay, like, right. But anyway, I'm a bigger dude, and you did have the option to have an extra lunch, but I didn't get that because I had a communications ban and no one was allowed to send me money. So I just sat there and I starved. And when I was bored of starving, I would read the New Testament and, you know, I would just get into the Word of God. And from there, it would spark some things where I would think about, you know, my life and how I was living it and just being more conscious and grateful and present for what I had, because I'd taken it for granted. I'd taken the outside world for granted. Because when I got into that world, I realized that all this, everything, can get taken away from you in a moment. And it doesn't matter if you think it's fair. It doesn't matter if you think it's fair. And guess what? There's people in the world, I'm talking about real fucking tragedy. Their houses being bombed potentially, or, you know, just terrible family tragedy, and it's not fair. So what you do have, if you have someone who loves you, if you have a mother or a brother, or you have a fucking Xbox or a DS or a bicycle, or you just have anything, and you look at it and you think, you know, maybe this isn't enough. I need a Lamborghini, I need a Ferrari, I need 1 million followers. No. Because that shit, that doesn't follow you. That doesn't follow you when you're stripped down and nobody gives a fuck about the outside world. All you have from the people who love you and those cherished memories you've created with people. So whatever you have, hold it close and be grateful for it, because it could all get taken away, and it doesn't matter how you feel. While I was in there too, you know, I couldn't help but daydream about YouTube and, you know, what I would do when I'd eventually get out, because I knew I'd eventually get out. It wasn't enough, even in the worst case, for me to be out of action forever. I was still thinking, okay, there's routes I could take. Maybe, you know, this takes 3 months, maybe this takes a year, maybe this takes, you know, a couple years. But, you know, I figured, you know, worst case, it would be, you know, probably a year max. And that's not enough to count me out. You know, my career definitely wouldn't be dead after just 1 year. I don't think. A lot of shit would have changed for sure, but I was straight scheming, bro, when I was in there. I was thinking, yeah, I'm going to make this video when I get on that video. So guys, you know, be on the lookout for a lot of content. Be on the lookout for, you know, a more organized and energized version of myself, and just putting my best foot forward as far as that. Like I said, when it comes to faith, I made a TikTok about this. So a lot of people are thinking, oh, you know, Connor's going to be this like religious, like preacher guy. Like, no, like I'm a noob. And I've always believed in God, and I fear God and you know, his wrath, but I now want to, you know, feel his love, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying I want to learn and all that good stuff, you know, and I got stories to tell, man. I got a lot of stories. I'm sure they'll come up eventually. It was a hard month. I think it honestly was a fucking surreal experience. When I tell people about the stuff that happened to me, it's like, it's unbelievable. And it's just like one thing after another and after another and after another. And I'd love to get on a podcast and talk about it or something. But yeah, it was fucking tough. It's fucking hard. Real quick, I know people are wondering, I am a fitness channel. I am back in Canada. That was filmed pretty much like right when I got out. I think the day I got out, I filmed that. And you know, no roids. I've been off roids for now like 3 months. No PCT, no TRT. So I've lost a lot of muscle, but I still look pretty good lean. I'll show you what I look like. So here's a physique update. Right when I got out of jail, as you saw, I also shaved. Got some abs going. I'm a lot smaller though. Here's another quick showcase of how I looked. Also, this one is interesting because this is me super bloated on gear. Here's the face gains a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I've been off gear, no TRT, face is looking leaner. And yeah, I will probably be making a series on my next cycle, but also just let me know if you think I should stay natty or what I should do as far as that. And yeah, I feel pretty good right now. I don't feel tired or anything. Again, it's been a long time since I've taken PEDs. I'm not on TRT. I didn't PCT, and I'm getting my blood work back soon. So I'll see how it looks, and maybe I could do a cycle, or maybe I'll just stay natural. Because honestly, like, I don't mind how I look right now. It's not too bad, and if I can look like this and just maintain it, I think this might be good. I am a lot smaller, like literally just way weaker in the gym, but I do look more handsome. I gotta give myself that. So we'll see.